Everybody agrees that the 1970s was the golden age of hi-fi. You had beautiful, silver-faced receivers, VU meters, speakers that shook the floor. And when Aqualung came on, well, you jumped off the couch because it was a revelatory experience. But what if I told you that the golden age of hi-fi is right now? Would you believe me? No? Well, I'm about to convince you otherwise. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about why the 2020s are the real golden age of hi-fi. However, before you do that, please take 40 seconds. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm working with Audio Advice to raise a bunch of money. It'll only take 40 seconds.
I'm Scott Noon. I'm the CEO of Audio Advice. My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 36 years old.
And I'm Randy, I'm the Cheap Audio Man, and my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer this year. That's why I'm thrilled to be teaming up with Audio Advice to support this wonderful cause.
We're raising money for families with mothers battling cancer through the Helene Foundation. You'll see a link in the description that goes to a raffle page where we have tens of thousands of dollars of really cool headphones, speakers, projectors, you name it. And then Randy and I are going to do a live stream on October 30th where we're going to give it all away.
The sad reality is that we all know someone that has battled breast cancer. And this is your opportunity to make an impact on real people's lives. Whether you can give a little or a lot, you're going to make a difference. For the last couple of decades, music was something you listened to while you were doing anything else. Cleaning, scrolling, avoiding taxes. Now, people are actually sitting down to enjoy their music on physical media? Lights dimmed, phone down, pretending that you can hear the difference between 16-bit and 24-bit. Vinyl and CD sales are up. Used record stores are cool to go to. And teenagers are discovering Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan, and Nirvana. And Target is selling K-pop deluxe box sets to teenagers? Because now owning your favorite band's music on physical media, getting some merch, and a limited edition poster is actually not weird anymore. Music is no longer background noise, it's now an event. And it's not just hipsters anymore, it's regular kids. Every golden age starts with people caring, and people care again. So we went from, hey Siri, play me something sad, to flipping a $40 vinyl record that you already own on CD in 3 different versions, the remaster, and you have it on streaming too. Take that, 1976. In 1976, a Pioneer SX1250 receiver cost $900, roughly $4,800 today when adjusted for inflation. Now, you can get a streaming Weem amp for $299, TAC mini CD player for $300, U-turn turntable for $250. You can build a full, great-sounding system for less than a car payment. And if you think about it, a car payment in the 1970s was like 13 cents. That's saying something. Finally, hi-fi is now a hobby where you don't have to be financially broke, just emotionally broke because you're working a job that you hate. But it's okay, because now you can listen to a bunch of records on your $500 hi-fi system. Hi-fi's fashion sense came back from the dead, just like mullets and bell-bottoms. And unfortunately, high-waisted women's jeans. Take the Advanced Paris A10 Classic. It's gorgeous! And it has more inputs than the Apollo 13. It's got HDMI, which the Apollo 13 didn't have. It also has a full digital to analog converter. Subwoofer out. It's amazing. It's $2,000. I get it. It's expensive. But in 1978, that would have been $137,000, if I'm getting my math right. NAD came out with a retro throwback amplifier. Even Onkyo is getting in on the game with power and VU meters. Duke Audio makes super affordable amps with little meters on them. It's the return of knobs, toggle switches, metal construction, nostalgia with a better noise floor. Stuff is smaller, smarter, better than it was in the 1970s. Modern amps no longer double as space heaters, and the risk of burning down your house because of shoddy electrical wiring has been greatly reduced. And you don't need an 80-pound amplifier to get clean, powerful sound. Purify, Hypex, Texas Instruments, the 3255 amp chipsets, well, they're all Class D. And some actually sound good. Look at this thing from Weem. Look how small it is. Or this from Cambridge Audio. This thing even has balanced inputs. Yeah, Cambridge. So it's not some fly-by-night Amazon store selling $100 amps. It's Cambridge! You got streaming amps with touchscreens. Like a tiny little drive-in theater that displays album art in your living room if you don't have cataracts and can actually see it. You have DSP and CAD molded cabinets and ports so that 5-inch woofer can hit 40 hertz cleanly, and air motion tweeters and $350 speakers. They didn't have that in 1978. In the 1970s, you needed a rack the size of a refrigerator. Now you just need a bookshelf, and it's cheaper and sounds better. And your new, smaller amplifier uses less power than the clock radio. However, the 1970s amplifiers were still warmer to the touch. Remember when big audio companies ran the world? Now, the weird kids are building stuff in their garage and selling it directly to customers on the internet. Companies like Just Shelly Labs, making super affordable DAX headphone amps in acrylic cases. They even have handmade wooden cases because they build what they want to build. And guess what? You know, the internet. Shit, audio is a powerhouse. American-made amps with Norse mythological names. Then you have Emotiva, which is a giant company now. And if you don't want those smaller amps, well, Emotiva has you covered because they're making stuff old school. Big transformers, 600-watt amplifiers for half the price of what they used to be. Independent hi-fi companies are back. But this time you don't have to go to a dealer. You can order it online with a liberal return policy. And, well, you can email them. And some of them have telephones where you can talk to a person that has a heartbeat. Try that with Sony. They'll fax you back a warranty denial. Because Sony's going retro too. You know, with a fax machine. Remember when streaming music meant 128 kilobits per second and sounded like you wet cardboard? Now, you have Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, all streaming lossless high-res music. Touchscreens with album art. Easy Wi-Fi setup. $300 streaming preamps that sound better than stuff that cost 5 times as much 10 years ago. And yes, you can now stream Whitesnake's entire discography. It's just a click away and it costs less than the price of a single CD per month, even though I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Every song, every album, anytime, from the comfort of your own couch. Convenience and quality. Now, I don't personally think that listening to streaming is nearly as enjoyable as listening to a vinyl record or a compact disc. However, I still find myself enjoying streaming music while I'm writing a script about how streaming killed music. And somehow it just feels right. Engineers finally bullied physics into submission. You have tiny little speakers with deep, full bass. Tiny little subwoofers like the SVS SB1000 Pro that hit 20 hertz. Now you don't need giant monoliths in your living room, you know, to get full range music. So in 2025, you run less of a risk of developing a hernia when moving speakers. However, I did throw my neck out for a week by a vigorous teeth brushing session. Remember, always stretch your neck before you brush your teeth. You would think that the convenience and price of streaming music killed physical media. However, it did not. Vinyl and CD sales are strong. I'm getting ready, after I do this video, to go to a record store, an independent record store, and buy some records. Turntables from U-Turn and Fluence are more affordable than ever and sound better than ever. Used CDs, you can go get a fistful of them at Goodwill for $5. Because now you can stream and own your music at a fairly affordable price. Flipping through a stack of records now feels like a ritual. Feels like something you get to do instead of something that you have to do. It's the best of both worlds. You can rent your music and you can also own it. In the 1970s, you had Stereo Review and the guy at the hi-fi store who didn't like answering questions. Now, you have millions of audio enthusiasts all coming together on Discord servers, online, in the comments section. People get together now. They meet up. They swap stories about their favorite concert in 1985 and which hip is being replaced next week. And knowledge and actual reviews of a product, well, now they're available to anybody, anywhere. A video on YouTube can go global in the same amount of time it took somebody at Stereophile to boot up the word processor. And Hifi is finally social. The hobby is fun again, even though people argue online sometimes. But at least we can argue online and we have choices. We're not being held hostage by our local hi-fi store, even though it's nice to have a local hi-fi store. And now we have choices. You want a retro looking integrated amplifier? Well, you can get one. You want a clear poly DAC that looks like one of those clear clamshell phones? Well, you can get one from Gishelli Labs. You can be an audiophile for less than $500. The 1970s maybe gave us the look, the feel, the dream, but the 1920s, but the 2020s, well, they give us access, innovation, community. You can stream any album ever made or spin a record, take a picture of it, and discuss it on a global forum. Welcome to the new golden age of hi-fi, where everyone gets a seat at the audiophile table, and no one has to sell a kidney to get there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, maybe send it to somebody that you think would enjoy it. Also, please check out the Helene Foundation. Link is in the description. If you like this video, check out my video I did about the cultural impact of cassettes right up here, and maybe why people are still collecting CDs in 2025, but not for the reasons why you think they are. Thank you so much for watching.